Diddy, this mogul for the black community, this leader,
For umpteen years.
this billionaire, this sense of hope and inspiration for not just the black community, but for the entire world. He was a big mogul.
Yeah.
To see him in that light and how he treats women, knowing that he have daughters, how do we go about this?
First of all, let's just be clear. I want to say on the mic that on the Big Dog Talk podcast, we do not condone domestic violence.
No.
We do not condone that sort of behavior to anyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Big Dog Talk podcast. It's me, the one and only. Put the lights on me. Big! Let's go! Charles!
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl, Big Shay, and I'm back in the building.
Why are you like that? It's fun.
I'm back in the building.
It's fun.
I'm in the building.
It's nice outside. It's beautiful. You understand me?
Listen.
Energy good.
Yeah, you had your coffee.
Nah, that ain't what I had. Y'all saw the last episode. Good. Love it.
Stupid. I want to give a shout out to my man for Mother's Day.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
You did your big one for Mother's Day celebration. It was my birthday.
Yeah.
And the carpet was laid out.
Yeah.
The love was poured out.
For sure.
And my heart was filled up. So I want to say thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
For showing me so much love and appreciation.
You're welcome, baby.
Love you.
Well, since we giving shout outs, I want to give a shout out to my woman. I want to say congratulations to you for finishing the semester with straight A's. You understand me? Full-time student, full-time entrepreneur, full-time wife, full-time mom, full-time. I got to tell them the story, though.
I'm a podcaster, too, y'all. He forgot that other job.
Yeah. Listen, I got to tell them the story right quick.
Please tell them the story.
Check this out. Before we get into Diddy.
Did he do it?
Before we get into Diddy, I want to talk about, so my wife ended the semester with, is it 3 A's and a B or 2 A's and a B?
Well, how I almost ended.
Babe, let me tell my story.
Almost 2 A's and a B.
So 2 A's and a B. Let me tell my story. 2 A's and a B. She received information on her grade, her final grade, the night before the final grade was finalized. Mm-hmm. So she had all A's and she had a 89.5.
Yes.
This is 10 o'clock at night she received this information. Instantly down. I'm like, what's wrong? I got an 89.5. 89.5 in my eyes? I'm happy to pass. You understand me? I'm happy to pass.
Yeah.
Listen, 10 o'clock at night, my wife sends an email to her professor. Professor, excuse me. How are you? What? I'm a nerd, and I haven't been in school in over 20 years, and I was striving to receive all A's on my report card, my grades. Now, you're the only class that I have an 89.5. Is there anything that I can do to get a 0.5 so I can receive all A's? 10 o'clock at night. 10:30, the professor responds. I say, I tell you what, you can write me a one-page report. One-page report, 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, just to get 0.5.
Sure.
My wife stays up.
Sure.
Not only did she write a one-page report, she wrote a 1.5-page report.
And did.
Happily stayed up.
Sure did.
Happily stayed up. The teacher sends her an email back the following morning.
Well, she sent it that night, but I got it in the morning.
Not only did she get a... Stop. Don't start, Stella. This is my story, not yours. The teacher gave her 1 point. So she went from an 89.5 to a 90.5.
Ow.
And what did she get? Straight A's.
Woo!
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I want to thank my husband. I want to thank my kids. I want to thank my team for supporting me through this, because without y'all, I couldn't have got all A's.
After 20 years of being out of school, went back to school 20 years later. But it gave me a lot of insight, though, on why our children are the way they are as well. It gave me a lot of insight on how you were coming up when it comes to education. Education and being stressed out, you don't like the fact that it's stressful, but you like the fact that it's stressful. Like, you were having fun being stressed out doing your work.
My professor said, Shavon, look at you writing a paper under pressure. I said, thank you for applying pressure, Miss Professor.
Oh, the mindset. Oh my God.
Yes.
Do you see
She
why?
got things to do.
Listen,
she got things to do and accomplish and become more. Okay.
Listen, do you see why it's important to get the right woman for you, man? The right woman is probably one of the best investments. No, not probably. The right woman for you is the best investment of the rest of your life.
Let them know, Big
You
Charles.
understand me?
Let them know.
You understand. Listen,
Let them
the
know.
mindset.
Let them know.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you for the celebratory turn down for what?
Oh, yeah, we had to celebrate that.
Thank you for the celebration. This weekend has been litty.
It's been litty. So if you see Big Charles is really excited, I'm having fun. This weekend was litty because we had a lot to celebrate.
A lot to celebrate.
I mean? We had a lot to celebrate. And shout out to Malcolm X, too. Happy birthday, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for everything that you've done.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for the influence that you have on me.
Yeah.
So thank you. Happy birthday. This definitely should be a holiday.
Definitely should be a federal one where the things are closed.
Definitely should be a federal holiday. Thank you, Malcolm X. Through your imperfections, thank you for what you've done.
Absolutely.
For the community, for the culture, for your people. Sincerely.
Yep.
Now, on another note,
Amen.
I have to introduce, we have a special guest today. And we've never done this before. And I call her by the name of Big Red. Look at Big Red. she brought out the yay.
Stop. That's Shayance. He got his own name for her.
That's Shayance for her, but it's Big Red for me. I met Big Red in Atlanta. No, I actually met her before Atlanta, but Atlanta is where she came out. Look at that. Yeah, it's blind. You understand me?
I cannot stand you.
You understand me? Listen.
When she comes out, all bets are off. I'm showing out.
Yeah.
I'm showing out when she come out.
Yeah.
It was that kind of weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She looks good. Mm-hmm. She looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's straight. Yeah. I like her. She's good for the Leo inside of me.
She's very good for the Leo inside of you.
She's good for me. Yeah.
Ladies, switch it up sometimes, you know? Yeah. Have some confidence. Switch it up sometimes. Give your man a new look.
Yeah.
Because we can do that.
Yeah.
Because this weekend he has Shayance and he loved Big Red.
Yo.
Big Red don't come to play, baby.
Yeah.
All the stops are stopping. It's also ego thing. But anyways, we digress.
Okay, yeah, we got to refocus. I'm sorry. We got to refocus. So look, today we got to refocus. So I want to talk about today's episode. We're going to switch it up because we usually don't talk about like hot topics.
Nah, not too much.
We usually don't do that. But I think every now and then we need to switch it up. And let's talk about this thing with Diddy.
Yeah, man.
The video came out with him beating Cassie in a hotel, grabbing her by her hair, pulling her by her shirt, kicking her. It was very disturbing.
To say the least.
Very disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do we go with, because this, I want to make sure, I don't want to offend anyone, but I want to do my best to hit it. Diddy, this mogul for the black community, this leader.
For umpteen years.
This billionaire, this sense of hope and inspiration for not just the black community, but for the entire world. He was a big mogul.
Yeah.
To see him in that light and how he treat women, knowing that he have daughters, how do we go about this?
First of all, let's just be clear. I want to say on the mic that on the Big Dog Talk podcast, we do not condone domestic violence.
None.
We do not condone that sort of behavior to anyone. And if there's anyone listening to us right now that are experiencing domestic violence, you can get out, because nobody deserves to be treated like that. As a woman, when I looked at the level of physicality that he displayed to Cassie, like, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like, as a woman, it broke my heart, because as a woman, all that I can imagine is the fear in her trying to get away from him and trying to escape, and he's kicking her like a piece of paper or a towel that you just have laying on your floor, and you like, get this out the way.
In the video, I don't even think she had shoes on.
She tried to put her shoes on. But the thing about it too, the thing that's also alarming is that he did all of this wrapped up in a towel. Wrapped up in a towel. It's giving monster vibes. I'm so sorry. It's giving monster vibes.
That's why I said it seemed she didn't have any shoes on, meaning that she was scared. She ran out of the hotel as if like
running for her life.
A disaster was happening.
Yeah, and they said in the report that he was allegedly asleep when she tried to, gather her things, and she didn't have her shoes on. She tried to put her shoes on quickly, but by the time she got half of her foot in one shoe, he was already running down the hallway and around the corner, because she had made it to the elevator.
Right.
He was already in a towel. So pretty much butt ass naked.
This is tense. This is
running after her to treat her less, like, not even like a human being.
Wow.
And so now, that original video that they released back when this whole conversation about Diddy started in 2023, where she was in a different hotel room, I'm assuming, and she was under that blanket.
Hiding.
Yes. Watching the video that was released Friday and then seeing that video now, it adds even more disturbance to the situation, because she was hiding under that blanket with, again, so much fear.
Why do you think that she was so afraid?
Because she was being constantly abused.
So do you think
constantly?
You think it's something that this is who he is? Could he have been under the influence? I'm not making that an excuse.
No, I know.
And I'm not talking about just alcohol. I'm talking about drugs. This is because he does. Cassie is not the only person that says he's a monster. People have been saying this for years, that he's a monster, and no one has really believed those allegations until the video.
I think just as a community, we have to just be careful, like, when we put people in limelights, right, based off of how much money they have, how much power they have, the status that they have. We have to be careful, because clearly behind closed doors, people can be somebody completely different than what they are perceived to be out in the public eye.
I agree.
So I think that that's exactly what we're dealing with here. Behind closed doors, Diddy has pretty much for a very long time been who we are now seeing on our screens. You don't just wake up one day and decide to video record you terrorizing somebody that's hiding under a blanket because they scared for their life, because you beat them all the time as if they are your, I don't know. Nobody, not even an animal, deserves to be treated that way. She's hiding like a kid in fear under a blanket while you're recording it and yelling at her and making a mockery out of it. Disgusting. Disgusting. And I'm not going to hold you. when the situation first surfaced in 2023, I wasn't trying to make excuses for Diddy, but I'm a person like, I need a little bit more proof.
Right.
Unfortunately. And I apologize to Cassie because me being a woman saying I needed more proof when everything was pretty much laid out on the table besides the video should have been enough. But I grew up in an era where Diddy was a big staple for me growing up.
I mean,
in the 90s.
But to like throw or give you like some leniency, we also live in a culture where people do try to use the media and get rich off of millionaires as a way of a get rich scheme. So I don't know if that's the reason why people didn't believe, because when she said it at first, most people were saying that, oh, she just want a paycheck.
Right.
She just want a paycheck.
Right.
Unfortunately, she had to get put in that box and judged based off of other people and their get rich quick scheme.
But Big Charles, how many times have we had women say that they've been sexually assaulted?
Right.
Or victims of domestic violence? And we say, well, what did you do?
Right.
Or that's not true.
Right.
What did you do to deserve that? We have built up this thing in our mind where we always take the road of she had to do something to deserve that. It's kind of like how many years did we hear that R. Kelly was sexually and physically abusing women?
Right.
We dealt with that and 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 made excuses for him until we could no longer make excuses anymore. And I feel like we're right back in that same scenario with Sean Diddy Combs.
Oh, I agree.
And the why? Why is that? Why do we do that?
Whew.
Why?
I don't want to sound like I'm defending Cassie. I don't want to sound like I'm defending Diddy.
Okay.
I don't. Do we forgive him though? Should we forgive him? How do we move on from this? Because I was taught like you never laugh at a man's downfall. But I also was taught that if you do something, you deserve consequences. Like my belief is this. I believe Diddy deserved a consequence for this. Mm-hmm. Like he's been, and I'm not laughing at his downfall, but no man should put his hands on a woman or treat a woman at that level of disrespect. I have a daughter, I have a mom, I have a wife. That's zero tolerance. I don't care if you're on drugs. I do believe that he deserved a consequence, but do we forgive him as a black community? Do we forgive him as a people, period?
My struggle is like when he released his statement, shortly after the video, my struggle is the credibility.
Is it for real?
Are you for real? Are you doing what your PR team is telling you to do to try to minimize the situation and find out like you did all the other times? So like his verbal, apology, public apology, like how sincere is that?
The only thing is when you give anytime you apologize and you start off with the reasons.
Case in point, but go ahead and finish this case. People haven't seen it.
When you start off with the reasons, like his words were, I was in a bad state. I was rock bottom. Mm-hmm. I was in a dark place. I went to therapy. I'm so sorry. When you start off communicating with the reasons why, with the excuses, it minimizes and take away from the sincere apology. It doesn't really give off, I take full accountability. Because a real apology is, I did that.
That man should be in tears.
I did that, and I must be responsible for my doings, my choices. I have to take full accountability, and what comes with it.
Accountability.
Whatever comes with it, I have to deal with that.
It's the word accountability that you said. I don't feel that with that public.
I'm so sorry.
I don't feel
That's what he said, but I don't. I really don't believe that. It's too soon to be so sorry.
That part.
It's too soon.
With no consequence?
With no consequences.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
You need a consequence to really feel the impact that you have had on her life. If there are other victims, their lives, you need to sit in that.
It's too early for a sincere.
Too soon. That's why I said.
It's too early for a sincere apology. It is.
Listen.
It's too early for a sincere apology. And I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm not making fun of the situation, but we have to talk about it because so many women go through this.
Are going through My goodness.
This was like watching a scary movie scene.
Yep.
And Diddy gotta suffer the consequences. He have to suffer the consequences. He have to. He has to be given consequences. Well, it already shows that the LAPD already responded and say, unfortunately, we cannot
did they?
prosecute him because it happened in 2016.
Oh, statute of limitations.
Which I already knew that was going to happen. Allegations say that Diddy paid them $50,000 not to release the video when it happened in 2016. I think in 2016. But unfortunately, Diddy didn't messed up with some people, some bigger people.
Yep.
That have more money than him.
Which is why the video has been
released.
released.
Which is why the video is being released now.
So here's the thing. Here's my thought when you say something like that. Okay, maybe he can't go to jail for it, but life is gonna life.
We need to make him as a people, though.
Feel it.
We need to. And I'm sorry that his children has to go through it with him.
That's the other part.
His daughters that lost their mom. His son that lost his mom. The son that was trying to speak up for him because he's doing the right thing.
That's his father.
That's my hero. That's my idol.
That.
Nobody come at my dad like that.
That.
Unfortunately, Diddy is a monster behind the scene.
And my heart really goes out to them. The children, all of his children, from the oldest to the youngest little baby that he just had. My heart goes out to them because, like you said, that's their dad. That's the person that they look up to as their father figure, their role model, their provider. That's their person. Especially to the kids that no longer have their mother living on this earth. That's their person. So even for them to have to look at their dad in real time, behaving that way, that's traumatizing. Let's just keep it a buck.
Oh, for sure.
Those kids, that is not something that they will be able to, just process easily in their minds about their father. Because they might have thought it wasn't true.
Right.
Now
they got the facts.
It's true.
They have proof that it's true.
It's true.
So
So is everything else true, Dad?
So is everything. So this is the thing, though.
Tough conversations.
When you lie, when you get caught in the lie, I don't even want to say unfortunately. When you get caught up in the lie, especially to something so extreme, something so vigorous, and something so traumatic, toxic, you are considered non-credible. Your word it's a voided check. My question is to the community, to the African American community. My question to women, my question to men. Do we forgive Diddy for this? Do we allow him to prove that he is sorry for his actions? Or do he deserve a consequence? I really want to know. I really want to know how women, do we forgive him for this? Do we? Should we? Because he's still ours. Or is he not?
He's still a human being, right? And as human beings, we do make mistakes. We do. This is just the God's honest truth. We do make mistakes. And I do feel that as a woman and as a human being who has made mistakes, I don't feel like it's my job to not forgive Diddy. But at the same time, Diddy did not he's not a direct impact to me.
Right.
Diddy's not my hero.
And it didn't happen to you.
And he's not my hero. It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to somebody close to me. It didn't happen to me. So my ability to forgive him can come easier because of just the person that I am. He deserves to be forgiven as long as he proves it, proves that he's sorry, takes accountability, but he also deserves a consequence. He deserves a tough consequence for his actions. You do not get to behave like that to one victim or multiple victims and then just keep living your great life. You don't get to do that. You don't.
Oh, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
He needs a consequence.
He definitely needs a consequence.
He needs to go back to the drawing board.
And how do we empower women who are going through the same thing to leave a relationship where they feel like they are afraid of their partner, their man? How do because it seems like it's a hard thing to do when you're being abused by a man. The woman still wants to tag along. So I did read this, that there was a time where Cassie saw that Diddy was victimizing another.
Allegedly, victimizing
another
woman.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't speak up about it. She just was excited about her being the new woman on the block that's at the top of the. Is this her fault for staying around, or is Diddy that much of a manipulator?
See, it's such, what you're saying is so loaded, because when you originally started, we're just talking about, women, regular women. When I say regular, women that live a day-to-day life and fall into a relationship with a man that becomes physically abusive to her, right? And they stay for a lot of reasons, because abusers are oftentimes very manipulative, right?
Yeah.
They beat you up and then they find a way to really make it better, where you feel like you can forgive this person and trust and love them, and they become your safe space. But when you're but the flip side of that is we're talking about people like a Diddy or like an R. Kelly, where these women are extremely entertained and infatuated with being in the space of men that have money.
But are these vulnerable, broken women?
So that's hard to say, but I know the fact that these men have financial stature and power and fame is very sexy to these women. Mm-hmm. So to them, for Cassie to now be that number one woman standing beside Diddy, probably felt like a dream to her.
And plus she was younger.
She was young. She had just got into the industry. He was helping her with her career. They got into a relationship. It never starts off how it ends. So it's probably really, really peaches and cream in the beginning, and then the abuser shows his face. But by that time, you already caught up in the web of it, and you already have so much invested into it with your emotions, with things, the benefits that come with it, that when they say, I'm not going to do it again, I wholeheartedly believe that women feel like they're not going to do it again until they do it again. And then it's a cycle that is really hard to be broken.
Yeah.
Really hard.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to end. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out.
Right. Right.
Because we can't deny the fact that Diddy have donated so much money to the African American community.
Absolutely.
We can't deny the fact that he has been a pillar and a pioneer
in the music
and the hip hop culture.
We cannot. And this is,
does that take away? Does that erase does this moment of his downfall erase everything that he has done for the black community, for the hip hop culture? Does it take away from everything that he has accomplished in life?
It doesn't take it away. It doesn't, because he did it.
It puts a big stain on it.
It don't take it away, because he did it and he accomplished it. At what cost? It looked like we seeing at what cost right now.
Right.
And this is the same way that I felt about, the whole conversation with R. Kelly. It doesn't take away that these black men are gifted and talented. You know what I mean? And did make a huge impact in the music industry. But we now see that they are who they are.
Something is not right,
And
though.
something is not adding up from
Something is
an
not
internal
right.
perspective. And the experience, we already know what R. Kelly experienced.
I know, but I'm just saying.
As a child.
And I'm saying something is not right because in the white community, this happens all the time.
All the time.
This happens all the time.
All the time.
And it just seems like now, like black men that have reached a certain status is being targeted. And I'm not making an excuse for it because listen, whatever you do comes to light, whether it me, you, anybody. But this does not look good.
Well, that's a whole nother layer, Big Charles. Like we just can't forget that we're still existing in a world that wasn't designed for us. And I think that the black man needs to become smarter and stop making choices.
Well, here's the thing,
like
though.
This.
I don't think he would have gotten to his place of his status without selling his soul to,
whoever he sold his soul to.
The ones that's taking him out now.
Yeah. He's at their mercy.
He's at their mercy, and he feeling himself.
It's at their mercy.
It's almost
like
like
we
a
watching a
reality
TV
check.
show.
Reality check. Listen, you better sit down, boy.
You know your place. We allowed you
to become a billionaire.
Which brings me to a point, which is why you don't hear anything from certain people right now, too. Because they know their place.
They know their place.
Stay in your place or you're going to be next.
None of his friends are really showing up. I want to see if Stevie J is going to make a public video like he did for Diddy when they raided his home. I want to see
if they're going out the lunch.
If he going to... I want to see.
I haven't heard. All that I'm seeing now is a lot of celebrities speaking
against him when they wasn't saying anything at first.
Well, some of them was saying the opposite.
Well, here's the thing, though.
People?
Allegedly.
Human beings, boy.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. Those people that can't say anything are in some of those videos that were allegedly. This is big money problems.
The big money, yeah.
This is big money problems.
Yeah.
But the blindfolds are off. That hip hop world is dark.
The blindfolds are off, and the people that aren't saying anything, their silence is already speaking volume.
Right, and we know who we talking about.
We all know who we talking about. It speak volumes. They're all a part of that society. And they are being quiet or you too will be next.
Here's the thing, though, because I don't want to take any light off of Cassie and all the other women that has been victimized by weak men. Please find some help. Please get some support. Please tell your friend. Please tell someone that can help you out of this dark hole. I couldn't imagine my daughter, my mom going through something like this. I couldn't imagine as a father, as a man, of what I'm willing to sacrifice to protect mine.
Even shout out to Cassie's husband. Like, he's married to someone that has gone through something like that. So they're going through this phase of her having to relive all of this. They're going through this together now.
I'm glad you said that because let me tell you something. That it says a lot about a supportive husband as well, a supportive man, because allegedly, people before they tried to speak out had their cars and things blown up. And which is a fear tactic.
Yeah, it is a fear tactic.
So for her husband to write a letter saying men who beat women are weak men.
That's right.
Men who decide to stay silent when they know that their friends beat women and torment women are weak men. Men who cover up things just for their friends to continue to progress in life are weak men. Real men, strong men support women.
Right.
So for this man to publicly say that against the powers that be, knowing that there could possibly be a consequence for him being so supportive, for him to have the courage to speak out, stand on side of his woman, protect her. Salute to that man.
Amen. Amen. And this, I mean, even the chick from Danity Kane been saying this for years about how Diddy manipulated and abused them and treated them really bad.
She has been saying it for years.
She has been, and it really messed her up. If you see her speak now, you can tell that whatever she experienced during that time had an impact on her mental stability, and vice versa. We talking about men putting their hands on women, but women do not have a right to put their hands on men either. And it happens more than we talk about that too.
For sure.
Nobody has a right to do that.
For sure. And the only
disgusting.
Where do we go from here? We're gonna have to follow this one.
Yeah, we're gonna do an update.
We're gonna have to do an update.
Yeah.
But for now, I just want to ask the question, where do we go from here? Do we support Diddy? Do we not support Diddy? How do we empower and support Cassie and those who have been victimized by the Love, Dr. Love, by P. Diddy Love? How do we support? How do we move? Because how do we move forward because I've seen some pioneers in the black community to say Diddy is not us, but they weren't saying that when he was supporting us though. So how do because do we spit Diddy out? Do we forgive Diddy and allow him to go through the consequences? Should the victims decide how Diddy should be punished? How do we move from here? Because it's a sticky, tricky situation. Do we erase everything that Diddy done? Do we continue to believe every woman that comes out and say someone done something to me?
We've seen that.
How
happen.
do we maneuver now?
Yeah.
How do we maneuver? How do we move? How do we separate the truth from the lie without seeing the visuals? How do we detect that? How do we determine this?
Right. It's a bad situation.
This is bad.
It's a bad situation. I need us as a community and as a culture to really understand the impact. This is not the first, second, or third time that we've seen the downfall of one of our own. So Diddy is us.
Well, that's your perspective.
I'm saying that he is us.
Yeah, but that's your perspective.
Like you said, he was us when he was paving the way. He was us when he was the music mogul. He was us when he was doing
giving millions of dollars.
He was us when he was partnering with certain brand names that we fell in love with. And every time we went out, we wanted to drink it. He was us then. Right. We were proud to partake in all the partakes that had Diddy's name around it. He was us then.
Yeah.
So from my opinion, yes, it's my opinion, he should still be us. But as a people, we want him to be held accountable. That's tough love.
But it's easy for you to say us, and you got to be careful when you say he's us, though. You have to be careful with that.
I explained.
Yeah, but you still got to be careful, though. You saying that, but
I'm explaining it from my thought process.
Right.
So we always, we do want to be quick to throw people out. I'm saying, do whatever fits your rationale.
You basically saying that if this was your child, you're still my child. I still love you, but unfortunately, I have to watch you go through the consequences of your choice.
Have to.
And it's gonna hurt.
It is.
But I have to watch you go through. I can't protect you from this. I can't save you from this.
You made those choices.
You made those decisions. Stand on this.
That. And that's that on that.
Until next time, we have to get out of here.
Yep.
We will do an update.
Yes.
0 tolerance for domestic violence.
0.
0 tolerance.
Love yourself.
Weak men beat on women. Weak men verbally abuse women. Weak men do that. Until next time, Big Dog Talk Podcast is the best podcast in the Bay, soon to be the world. And we love y'all.
Treat yourselves well and love yourselves. Until
Peace.
next time.